Togo.
So, what I'll show you now, when you've finished, is how to stitch two videos together. We use that as a
Okay.
practice. Yeah?
Okay.
And you can start your next bit with "I'm back" or something.
Okay.
And rubber band broke.
Anyway, I think I'm still filming. Just a minute. One tied rubber band, one tripod, and one diggy dog. And I believe we might be back in business. And for anybody who wants to tell me that there are far more useful things out there, I'm in lockdown and I'm not ordering it. And I've got more rubber bands. Boom tish. So, and I'll learn how to stitch these videos together today. Anyway, rubber bands on. Hey, right. Welcome to day 8. It's day 8. From one case to 148 cases and possibly more today, because I'm not sure that we're at our peak yet. I'm so pleased we went into lockdown. I'm very happy that I am at home and not wandering around catching me a Delta variant or passing it on to someone else with people who are vulnerable. Anyway, so we are. This is my hug that I'm working on, and you can see the change in colour in the ball of wool. Variegated balls of wool are fun. There's all kinds of stuff in this. Anyway, I had someone ask me to turn my work around so I could show you what the right side of my work looked like. But your work should basically work on both sides, and it doesn't matter which side is the right side and which side is the downside. Well, that's what I've always thought. That's why I'm really careful with how I stitch in my ends, because I'm quite blind, and even with my glasses I can't see up close. So I found somebody else's work that you can see the difference between the front and the back, and I'll show you that now. So this is a blanket that my mum made, and this side is the front side. This is the side you would put up on your bed, and this side is the back side. And as you can see, she's actually stitched hexagonals together, and she's chosen to pull the fluffy wool through, so the fluffy wool sits predominantly on the front side of her stitching where she stitched. But where she's crocheted, see the white, it's the same on both sides, because that's just how it goes. There are other differences too, and I'm sure someone will point them out to me, but I can't see them. So if you're stitching little squares together, if you've got to the 5th row and thought, oh my gosh, Jo, you've only showed us how to do middles, I can only do middles, and then you've done 6 middles, you can actually stitch them together. And I'm not going to show you that right now. I'm sure there are YouTube videos for that. But then it is more likely that you will make a front side and a back side for your work. Anyway, here you go. So we are up to a lovely little round of that variegated scarf wool that I pulled. So I'm just putting a treble in there and another one, and sorting out those magical ends. Yeah, and I think knitting has very definite front sides and back sides, and yeah, I think I've always just tried to make it so you can't tell, an untrained eye couldn't tell what is a front side and what is a back side, and I guess that makes it far more versatile when you're out and about. But I'm making these to hug, and so for me this is a hug, and it's more about how it feels and the overall pleasure you get from it. I mean, sometimes you can think that crocheting a wool might be the best thing to do, and the best colour wool actually feels a little prickly. But don't choose that for a hug. It might be good for something else, but it might be good for putting on your bed to stay warm, but don't use it for something that you want to snuggle up to and get some relief from and get some relief. It's got another job, and this isn't the one. So I'm always really careful to choose what I'm using based on how it feels, and mostly because I don't see very well, and it really matters to me how it feels. Yeah, and I guess that's why they work so well for hugs. So yep, anyway, what's today? Wednesday. The days all run together, don't they? And yeah, can't even say another day, another dollar for some people, because actually we're at home. Although, if you can, being at home means you're not spending money, unless you're shopping online, and that's another trick all by itself. So I will stop running. Every now and again I've got to where I want to stitch this. See, there's a colour difference between the end and where I am at now, and it's stitched in well enough. It's stitched in 1, 2 trebles, so I'm just going to nip that little bit left off and not try and stitch it in, and then it'll just tuck in quite nicely. So use your common sense, and if you screw it up, you can just do the row again or add a little bit more, and well, yeah, but I think I've given you enough coaching for you not to screw it up too badly. Anyway, so we are coming up to our next row, and I'm thinking that I'll do another round of this before 1, 2, 3 chain, to make my corner into my treble, into my first 3 chain that I made. 3 chain up, and then treble into the back, pull round, so you're doing it into the front, and I'll turn this around so you can see it, and then I'll turn it back. So this is what I'm working with, but because I don't see it very well, it doesn't bother me. And so yeah, and then we're off again, off on another round of this exciting little adventure of making a hug. So the dog's now gone out, and she's been such a good girl. And yeah, and we are off again. Right, so I'm going to leave you lovelies to make another round, and you don't have to choose another colour. If it's too hard joining colours and thinking about colours, the way I went up just there, doing 3 chain up and starting again, you just keep doing that. And you can keep doing that with the same colour. So your hug doesn't have to be multicoloured. It can be one favourite ball of wool that you just love to pieces, and that could work for you. So hugs are very individual things. Every one I've made has been different, and everyone that has chosen their hug has loved it for their own reasons. And so yeah, it's an absolute pleasure to watch someone choose their hug when they're presented with choices, and you can see people fall in love with them as they choose them. Anyway, have a good day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Sayonara, babes.